Alrighty, everybody. Good afternoon. Am I live? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Listen, that proves that it's live and direct. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike from Big Mikes, Small Taste of Barbados, Big Taste of the Caribbean. Today, because I want to say at the very start, hashtag Mindspace. We're thinking about people's mental well-being. We're doing a Black History Month, but we're going to give you flavors of the Caribbean, live and direct. Cook with me. This is simple and it's simply delicious. So today's meal is going to be a fillet of red snapper with an Escovitch sauce with a Calypso Caribbean salad. So you're going to get the flesh, you're going to get the spice, and you're going to get the zing, and you're going to do it with me, and this is going to be easy. So first, I've got some red fillets of snapper. Now, I have cut these down. They're very easy to get hold of, but the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to score the actual back, so that when we are actually cooking the fish, this helps the fish from not getting so tight, so that it doesn't all curl up and everything else. So I just have a really sharp knife, and I'm not sure if you can see me. Am I hiding? Hang on, let me move that slightly. What we are going to do here is just ease your knife through it and just put some slits in, okay? And then I'm going to take this fillet here, and I'm just going to damp off any of the excess water, because before I season this, I want to just make sure that any excess water is damped off. All you need is a piece of kitchen paper, a bowl. That's the trick, yeah? If your fish is moist and not wet, it fries better. It will caramelize, it will have that crunch, it will help improve the taste. But as a norm, before I season this for you, usually we would season this overnight or for a minimum of 6 hours. That helps the marinade, the lime and everything infuse into your fish so that it draws through and it gives it that certain je ne sais quoi. So I'm going to actually show you what this would look like if I had prepared it overnight. So here's one I've made earlier.
Is that the same with any other sort of fish?
Now, you could use numerous fish on this. If I just give you a peek here. Now, if you're going to go Caribbean-esque, you can use for snapper, you can use for tilapia, you can use kingfish, okay? But you can also, just as well, you can use sea bass, you can use cobbler, this is a very easy recipe now. Sea bass, cobbler, any white boneless fish, and it doesn't even have to be skinned, or it doesn't have to also have the actual skin on it. This recipe will draw flavor into the fish, nice and quick, very tasty, easy to make, okay? And truthfully, it represents you're coming from Barbados all the way around the arc to Jamaica. This is what we do in the islands, okay? So this is what it looks like. I'm just going to give you a thing. I'm just going to lift up a piece. Okay, this has been seasoned overnight. It's always a bit hard on these cabinets here, but I just want you to see how that flavour's infused. And it smells fantastic. We have sight, but I ain't got smell. Okay, let me just move this out of the way. Move that. Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, I just put a couple of slices into the skin, so that's for the later frying. I'm just going to throw it into a bowl. That. Now, this is nice and easy. It doesn't have to be skin down, skin up, da-da-da. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my jerk seasoning. Now, the usual question that comes here is, do you have to make your own? Look, I do both. You can get great jerk seasonings on the market right now, fantastic. Or you can make your own. You can actually put into that effort. But I usually, when I make it for myself, I make it in bulk. But I'm using one here from out the jar because this is what we will do more. So, a couple of dollops of that in there. That doesn't sound like a very technical term, but it is from my point of view. Now, I've also got some bacon seasoning, okay, especially coming from my actual island. But the reason why I put this in is it's got all the flavour of the jerk without all of the pepper. So this could help temper it, because some people like it hot, some people don't like it not. Okay, so you can mix and match. But either way, there is nothing here that you can do wrong. So I'm going to throw that in. That. I'm going to put in the soy. I use soy light. It's a bit less salt. It's a bit healthier for you, but you can use any soy of your choice. But I prefer the soy light. Down there, like so, and then I like then I have some lime. Yeah, squeeze it in there. That helps give the zing to your fish. Okay, and all I'm going to do here right now is I'm just going to rub that in. Yeah, give it a good rub. Now, so it evenly spreads across your fillets. And, yeah, so here's one here. I'm just rubbing that in. Yeah. The magic is in the marinade. It isn't necessarily into how you prep this, but it's really that easy. Okay. So now I will be changing my gloves, but what I've done here is I have marinated that fish. I said, as a norm, I will hold it for 6 hours or I will do it overnight. But what I'm going to do here is, whilst I am preparing other items, because I'm going to fry this virtually last. So it just gives it a chance to draw some of that flavour, because I am going to eat this for myself later. Okay, so I'm just going to put this to the side and I'll be bringing it back into the group shortly. Okay, and so next, what I'm going to work on here, as I change my gloves, is going to be, thank you, I am working on next is the Escovitch marinade. That's the hot, spicy, pickled vegetables which you put on top of the fish to give it that oomph. Now, this is quite a traditional dish throughout the Caribbean. And whilst the Escovitch actually, it actually generated from Spain back in the 1600s. But to cut it down to its basic, right, it's a pickle. In the Caribbean, going through those times, especially back in the 1600s, there were no fridges. So we had to somehow preserve it. So food was either preserved in a pickle, a sauce, or by smoking it. And that tends to be how our food has generated and actually grown forward. So I'm going to make this pickle easily in front of you. And once again, I'll be frying that on the stove so that can draw whilst we do the Calypso salad. So, pot. I'm just going to grab some gloves.
Does cooking help your mental health?
Yeah, I feel at peace. This is my zone. You know, there's some people that garden. Yeah, there are some people that walk. But for me, I love food. I'm more at peace when I have food. I am a feeder and I love to create it. And as you can see, I definitely love to eat it. So I've got no problem with that. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to do this in a distilled white vinegar pickle today. Very easy. You need a cup of white vinegar. So I'm just going to throw that into the pan. And I have already chopped up the veg. Reason being is, when I try and chop up, every time I go live, it is definitely the chef's curse. I always seem to clip something. But what I've got here is some thinly sliced I've got some thinly sliced carrots. I got some bell peppers. I've used the bright colours. I've used the yellows, the reds, so that it actually flows out. I've got some white onion thinly sliced. I've got some fresh thyme herbs, and I've got the bad boy. I've got the bonnet pepper here. So I've poured in my white vinegar, and all I'm going to do is take all these ingredients here and put it into here. So my carrots go in. My peppers. I'm going to throw in some more marinade there. And my thyme. Now, this bonnet pepper is hot. There's no pretending. Yeah. In competition to other peppers, I would say it's up there in the top 5. But I've got a trick for you. If you just want the flavour without the heat, don't cut it. It will boil down and simmer down perfectly, and you'll get all that pepper flavour without the heat. But I like it hot. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to split it, open it up slightly, throw it in there. Yeah. I'm just going to put some more vinegar in there. So that this comes to a boil. And I'm going to stick this on the stove until it starts to simmer and leave it there for about 3-4 minutes. And then once it's hit that stage, I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to leave it for about 10 minutes. And what that vinegar and the pepper and all that, it will start to draw. And this is going to make your fish blow up. Down in there. Now, I've been a bit too overzealous here. So we have the recipe, follow the measurements. Okay, once again, I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, now, whilst I'm doing that, I'm just going to quickly give this a quick wipe down so that it looks nice and clean. Just makes it nice and easy. Okay. What I have here are all of the ingredients for our Calypso salad. So whilst that is simmering down, I've already done the prep here, but let me just take you through this. I have pineapple, I have some avocado, I've got your tomatoes, I've got your red and yellow peppers, I've got your chopped mango, I've got some cucumber, I've got some coriander, excuse me, and I have some parsley. Now, this really is this simple, right? I'm going to add a touch of salt here, okay, a touch of lime, and I'm just going to mix it in, and then I'm going to throw it into my fridge, yeah, and let that marinate and bounce through, because that is how salads taste. Once that membrane of that cucumber slightly cracks and mixed with the sweetness of the pineapple and the mango, for something so simple, it's going to blow everybody away. The taste is massive, and that's why I like this. And also, I'm going to give you a quick hint. Now, this is something that I have prepared earlier because I think it'd be rather boring for you just to watch me chop up. But for your avocado pear, now I've had this open, so when it hits the air, it starts to darken. But if you take a bit of lime and squeeze it on before, your avocados will always look bright and yellow and green. Yeah, so I know you must already know that, but that is a nice, easy trick. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some salt, your pinch of salt. I love pink sea salt. It just pushes the flavour out, okay? And it is as healthy as you could get from a salt point of view. It's definitely worth the purchase. But I'm just going to put on some of this. A couple of pinches of salt. My 6 teaspoons of lime. Now I prefer lime over lemon. Yeah, you know, it's almost an ongoing Caribbean joke. You know, what type of lemonade doesn't have in lemons? Well, it's Caribbean lemonade. We generally pick the limes from off the bat and make our limeade from that. But I'm going to just squeeze that through. Thus so. Now you could actually, you could add a touch of chili to this for those that want to be having that little bit of a kick. But as I said, once again, this is something that if you can leave it into your fridge 6 hours before and then give it 10 minutes before you serve so that it takes off the cold edge, you will get the actual best flavour there. Now, I'm gonna put my hands in here, yeah, because food is about expressing yourself. Yeah, you can have all the spoons and cutlery in the world, but for me, yeah, I like to get my hands in, give it a good old mix. Yeah, it looks gnarly. Pieces fall out, and that's not saying I practiced earlier, but I've got this. This has in your pineapple. It has your mango. It's got some tomato, it's got your cucumber. Basically, between the cucumber, the lemon, and a touch of spring onion, and your onions, it's something called a sauce. It's another pickle. But one thing that you're going to realise from this meal that I'm making today, it's very healthy. This is one of my go-to healthy meals. Maximum, this is going to be 700 calories. Yeah, and you're eating fresh fruit, fresh veg, you're eating your charred off Escovitch fish, whatever, and it's not fattening. Okay, obviously everything has its natural calories, but this here, if I had put this in the fridge, you're going to see that the water will actually start to break. You know that fine sauce that it actually gives out. So I'm going to change my gloves again. Thank you. But I'm going to, right here, it's one simple Calypso salad. Pineapple, mango, peppers, cucumber, touch of parsley, touch of coriander, bit of actual spring onion. Okay, this will make your fish zing, and it's good for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this and just slide this into the fridge quickly so that as I'm now about to go and do my fish, it will just help it breathe. Okay? Let me just give this a quick clean up so it's out of the way. I'm just going to jump back on some gloves again, so I haven't gone anywhere. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to warm up my olive oil now to fry off my fish. Now, I've chosen olive oil. You can use vegetable oil, okay? But whilst olive oil has a lower burning point, it is healthier for us. So I'm trying to say you can still get all your flavours, whatever, and fish will cook your fish fine. But don't be afraid to use vegetable oil, sunflower oil, rapeseed oil. You can use anything of that ilk, but so let me find my fish. Come back. Okay, fish is the fish that we marinated earlier. And this here is what I marinated last night. Okay, but what I am going to do is I'm going to do the one that we did earlier because this is live and direct. You can come home from work, you can wake up, you can just do this straight off the cuff, and I'm telling you, you will still get flavour in there. Okay, this is my olive oil. So put that in there. And you know, one thing I did forget, on my salad, when I actually bring it out, so I haven't forgotten it, is I always put a touch of olive oil in it, okay? That helps everything bind and make it sticky and so forth, so the flavour sticks to every single part and every single part is marinated perfectly. So I'm going to just stick this on, warm this up. Now, our marinade, can you guys see that okay? You guys can all see that okay? Yeah. Our marinade that I've had bubbling through with my bonnet pepper or whatever is been going for roughly 3 minutes. Okay, I'm going to put it on for about another 30 seconds more. I can't tip this too far or else I'll actually throw it onto the floor. But this here now, I'm going to leave it on that same hot burner but with the fire off. So I'm going to leave it there for about 10 minutes. Now, that will help my substances infuse into my veg. Now, this is another one that, you know, it can taste better after 6 hours. So whatever I don't use today, I will put it in a jar, bottle it, whatever, and I'll leave it in the fridge. And you can have this going all week. The flavors will keep growing bigger, bigger, and bigger. And you can use it on anything. I just put it on my eggs, I put it on my fish, I put it on my chicken. Whatever you want a bit of kick to, this is it. Okay, so I'll turn that off. I'm just going to let the natural heat do its job. So all my fresh herbs are in there, my bonnet peppers in there, whatever. Get ready. Now, touch of oil. You don't need too much. Okay. Now, if you have got in too much, you can always ease off some, but you can't really get any of this wrong. Yeah. And as you perfect your recipe, you will get the right amount for you. Okay. But this here is a nice bit of olive oil gone in. Okay. I've got my fish that I marinated earlier. What am I like for times, guys? Am I on
23 minutes, you've done.
23 minutes?
You've done, yeah.
See? 23 minutes and I'm talking. You can just imagine. So you can wrap this whole meal up, okay? If you're excluding the prep, you can do this within 30 minutes. It's the prep that takes your time. But being able to marinate your fish overnight, if your veg is chopped up overnight, whatever, you could come in, bam, 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 out. It's 4 times healthier than fish and chips, and I like my fish and chips, yeah, right? But you can do a healthy meal that is delicious within 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to just test my oil. Now, this is the one I always tell people not to necessarily do, but okay. You should be using tongs. It's more of a chefy thing, but I'm going to put my fish in here. I've got it in there, but what I'm also going to do is put a garni of fresh veg in there, of fresh herbs. Right? Now, can you see that? All that is thyme, fresh rosemary. I've tied it together. It's a fancy, sexy name called garni. It's a clump of fresh herbs. And I'm going to keep that in the side because that will infuse in the oil and that will infuse into your fish. Now, I really should not have taken this from off the fire, but the only way I can get you to see this start to get all nice and thin is to bring it to the camera. But fat gives great flavour. You know, on TV you see the chefs and they take the butter, they put it over and they stir it through. Fish will give you that similar effect just with 4 times less calories. So I'm going to sit this back on. Let's get it back up to heat. Now, let me put the handle on that way because I can have it off.
So that's on a high heat, is it?
I start it off on a high heat to get the oil going. Then I take it down to a medium heat. The idea is and I will show you, once your skin starts to caramelize, once it starts to go brown and so forth, once I'm happy with cooking that one side, the fish, I turn off the fire. I turn off the fire and I turn my fish over and I let the natural heat cook it. You'll get moist, flaky fish every time. Do not be afraid to turn off your fish. It's almost like doing your eggs sunny side up. Yep. You get one side perfectly cooked, flip it over, go and walk the dog, come back, you've got perfect eggs. And what I'm trying to say is you can achieve that when it comes to the actual fish. So I can hear it bubbling away. Let me just have a quick peek. Now, I'm bringing it off again, okay? Remember I told you about if I slice the underside, if I slice the skin, the fish will not curl up. And this is actually proves what I'm trying to say. The fish is staying nice and flat. Oh, this smells fantastic. Nice and flat without it curling up.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, Well, as I said, it's when we plate this, you're going to admire it, then you're going to devour it. That is the idea, yeah? Okay, and look, Caribbean food may have transcended from all different regions, but it's the soul and the love that you put in your food, yeah? And I could eat this every day, that's it. It's healthy, it's zingy, it's fiber, whatever. It makes me happy. And we were talking about peaceful buying, whatever. There's nothing more peaceful than chopping up your veg, chilling out, and taking your time. So let me move that away. Now, I am going to go for the tongs here. Now, as you know, this is not the ideal way to do a cook, but I keep showing everybody into a camera. But you're going to notice that my skin side, or you would notice, has started to get a bit gnarly. It's starting to crisp up and things. All them seasonings are sticking to it. So I'm going to give it about another minute, and then I'm going to turn them all over. So just bear with me.
Would you say it's perfect for a Sunday day of cooking?
I think it's a nice change on a Sunday. I would say that it's light enough to be eaten in summer, yeah, but it's hot enough to come in to have on an evening. It is a very good weekend dish, you know what I'm trying to say. And also, it gives it a real mix-up. You can still have your roast on a Sunday, or your chana curry, or your roti, or you know, or your mac pie, or whatever. But you still got the lightness of the fish, and also this marinade here. I hope people can see. Okay, now that has started to really infuse. I know that the flavors in there are really big. Yeah, so I'm trying to stretch it. People are telling me bend it down like that. Okay. You okay? You guys seeing that? No.
Yes.
You would think I've got 20 people in my kitchen, but it's just my daughter and my business partner. But either way, they're guiding me through this. So that's all going on. Whilst I was talking there, right? So I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it. Now, you see my herbs? I've still got my herbs there, whatever, letting that flavour come through. That's Lord. This is the real McCoy. Now that there, okay, I'm just going to leave it as I prepare. Everything else will give you perfectly moist, flaky fish. Now, if you want it a bit more charred or whatever, you just cook the back longer. As I said, think of it like an egg. That's the key, like an egg. And look, we've used the correct oil, we've got the flavour, we've got the seasonings, we marinated it overnight. Now I'm telling you to turn off the stove and just leave it. Right, I'm going to get another set of tongs. Now, so what we'll do here, let me just clean down here so you get a really good view. So, I hate mess. That's one of my pet hates. I hate mess. Yep. I'm not one of these people that like to come and say, I'll do it later, because I ain't coming back. So let's get that going. Now, a real mother's plate gift here, okay? But I'm at home. This is how I like to eat. So I'm gonna go get my salad that has been drawn. It's definitely one I prepared. This is one that I've made earlier. Can anybody see that well? Yeah? Please say something, you know what I mean? They're here to make my life easier, but anyway. Right, I'm just going to give that a bit of a twirl. Yeah, all that goodness in one thing. Now, I am Belgian, I am Barbadian. I know sometimes I don't sound it, but at the end of the day, I live over here in Britain, so this is what we got. Okay, small taste of Barbados, big taste of the Caribbean. So this is my Calypso salad. Okay, I didn't realize that even dropped down. So I've got avocado, pineapple, mango, cucumber, tomato, peppers. I've got a touch of coriander, bit of parsley, nice bit of salt to give it that zing. That is flavour. And this is a good substitute for coleslaw. Okay? You can keep it in the fridge, cut it in that mayonnaise, it lasts longer, it's not lapped in mayonnaise, so you know, one of my daughters who's vegetarian can have it, whilst my other one isn't. It's that kind of flavour, and in that lime sauce, très bon. Okay. So now,
nicely pepper.
And yeah, and my colleague here, he likes to add feta in it, whatever. Yeah, you can blow this up. you can be as creative as you like. So doing that, now this is my fish. Right. This fish is cooked perfectly. Now I'm going to take my fish, just move that over. Now I'm going to just take my fish like so. That's my red snapper off the bone, no bones. Oh, I am looking forward to this. My marinade. Get those lovely veg that have been pickled. Sorry, I actually forget, I'm not talking to myself. These onions, the carrots, the peppers, they've all been pickled, and they've all been pickled down with these sprigs of thyme that I've placed in there. Yeah, so I'm going to take this, take out some of these. Now your carrots need to be cut thin enough that they soak it in, but I like to give them, I like a bit of crunch. I like texture. And this, as I take this out, right? Look at that. Now this liquor, which is kicking my tail at the moment, you can drizzle some of that over the top, like so. That's it. And don't think you've wasted any of this. Now what is left in here, put it in a bowl, put it in a jar, okay, and use it throughout the week. It's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And in here, as you notice, is my bonnet pepper. Now, I could boil it down and let it all break up, but my wife can't take much heat. I like it hot, so it works for us all. So, right here, I would like to present Big Mikes Escovitch fish with my Calypso salad. 30 minutes of work, a fantastic day of taste. So I'm not sure how much time that I have left, so that anybody wants to ask any actual questions. Now you can add other things to this. You know, if you wanted to have your rice and peas, or you wanted to you wanted to roast some sweet potato or anything of that ilk. But this is a nice healthy meal. You can eat this, it's filling, you can actually come back, but you can also stock it up. And you can add to your salad, you can add to your mixes, whatever. So I'm hoping that you've enjoyed it. I've loved having you here. You know, as I said, this week is My Space Week. It's Black History Month. You know, and if you want any of this, because all this week I'm doing dedicated dishes for Black History Month, but what I'm trying to say to you is we've got another cook on Friday. Then on Saturday I'm doing a culinary journey I'm doing a culinary Caribbean journey at Big Mikes in Croydon. So it's all the hashtags here. Hashtag Big Mike CK. Everything is Big Mike CK. Yeah. And what we're doing here is this week we're going to demonstrate everything from doubles, roti, oxtail, anything you think can be, right down to jerk chicken. I'm taking you from Jamaica over there, all the way around the Antilles. We pop up in Barbados, we come on down, and we end up in Guyana. And I can assure you, every dish will be your wish. So come on down and see us, and thank you for taking the time, you know, for joining me here. So I'd like to give my thanks to the virtual village hall. which is the Royal Voluntary Society. That proves I can go blank online, whatever. But most importantly, thank you to you. And I look forward to seeing you on Friday when I'm going vegetarian and vegan. So thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated.